afternoon. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, as well as Abundant TV, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. We are just all over the world, and we have just added a podcast, and I'm really excited about that. You can go to the website, you can look and find it right down under that screen. It's netnewsnetwork.net. Remember the three nets in there, netnewsnetwork.net, and you can find this show there as well. And it stays on all the time, so they never take it away. So you can see all of our great programming with wonderful, awesome guests. As a matter of fact, one's with me right now is a special friend of mine. Her name is Loretta Rodger. And so she does all kinds of, she's a crafter. And I've learned so many things from you in crafting. You're also the head up there, heading it all up with Cove Crafters. And so let's talk about Cove Crafters. Now we have a meeting this coming month, just in a few days.
We did. No, we had to move our meeting from the second Thursday to the 20th. Shepherd's Cove Hospice is having a fundraiser called the Race to Remember. Mm-hmm. And if you want more information on that, just go to the website shepherdscove.org, and they can tell you about that. But we are meeting the 20th, which is also Thursday. It's going to be at 5:30 in the afternoon. We will be fed by Santa Fe Cattle Company, best food.
And they're also one of our sponsors, so we appreciate them.
Oh, I love them to pieces, because we do have lots of folks who still work, so they don't have to run home and try to feed the family or themselves. They can just come and get a nice meal and have a really great time. And I just happen to have the project we're going to make.
Now, what is this? This is pretty. I love the butterfly.
It's kind of hard to see it in here, but it's got a little cactus in there.
Okay.
And then the little butterfly, and then it's just got fairy lights. It doesn't show up well on camera, I know, but it's really a beautiful project. It's going to be very simple. It's just decoupage onto glass. And
I'm excited about that.
I'm sorry?
I've never done that before. I'd love to. I can't wait.
Yeah. We've actually done a similar process before, but not one that's quite this large. So everything's ready to go. All the pieces are cut. The butterflies are ready as well. And I love the little string fairy lights. I just think it adds a nice little ambience to someone. It's just a little night light, if you will. It's always just a small little reminder that there is a group of people who make these crafts that love our patients and their families so much. And I hope that it gives them a representation that they are loved and prayed for, very, very much prayed for as well. So,
well, I'm going to tell you, Loretta, this is a great group of women who come to Cove Crafters.
And men.
That's right. My husband comes. Your husband comes. And we have quite a few who do.
We do. We usually have 3 or 4 gentlemen who join us, and they have just as much fun making the projects as we do. Mm-hmm. And just like with your husband, we have another couple who, they'll compete with each other a little bit and get all their projects done. And it's awesome. And then, of course, men who are stronger than us, and God made them that way. If I need help carrying, those heavy jars, then they're right there to help me. And it's huge. And those are, trust me, 100 of these, a little heavy.
So we've got a goal set. And that's another thing I like about Cove Crafters is you set the goals, and I got to have that. And it gives us extra motivation to get it done.
It does. Well, one of the things that I'm very proud of, and my husband, Michael, has definitely helped contribute, is that almost 2 years ago, one of my crafters made the suggestion that we do a video or a PowerPoint or something, just so that, the instructions would play. And we've done that. And so now the instructions for the craft club are on the big screen there in the community room, and it loops. So if you lose your place, you get to talking to your neighbor, it's going to come back around and you'll know where you are.
I do that all the time.
Yeah. And the other thing we do is that everything that you need to make that project is going to be in I call it a kit. It's just a plastic baggie. We use those bags until they have holes in them. But yeah, all the pieces for that project are in that bag. And then all you have to do is take your pieces out and do your project. It's that simple. And I try to keep it user friendly because, from one meeting to another, I don't know if I'm going to have someone who's never used a hot glue gun, for example, or I've never decoupaged. I just love the fact that you're a willing spirit and you're wanting to come and show your love to others by making these wonderful projects.
Well, you and I have talked about this several times. The Albertville is just booming. There are
Oh
people
my
who come
goodness.
all over the place. And I think this is just an awesome way. If you're new to the community, you can come in and you're going to meet a great bunch of folks too. This is like the cream of the crop of the community, people who volunteer.
They are. I just, and the thing is, sometimes you'll have somebody who just comes once, and I love them just as much as I love the folks who come every single time. And here lately, we've had a couple of our ladies, in this case, who have brought their friends with them. And, that's more hands make easier work, obviously. And it's just fun to get to know more people and introduce them to crafts or a technique or whatever they like to do. I try to make sure that they have something that's going to be interesting. It won't be boring. It won't be too hard. And the project, when it's done, that's the most important thing to me, is that this love that goes into every single one of them.
It is. Now let's talk about the story of what happens to the gifts. And
Oh
how
my goodness. Yeah, let's do. So during craft night, as projects are finished, a lot of times we have a little area that they go to be bagged. I call it bag and tag them. So, they have to be put in a small little bag so that when they go to the next step, it'll be a little easier for that group of volunteers. So we have 2 or 3 very large bins. The gift goes in. First, it's going to be a quick little quality check. So if there's something missing, it can be fixed. If it needs to be dried, it can be dried, all that good stuff. And so it's put in the bin. And then when we're done with Cove Crafters, those bins go into a different room. It's just like a workroom. And then our next set of volunteers are going to have printed off face sheets so they have the patient's name, information, that kind of thing, so that the volunteers who do patient sitting and deliveries will come and get those packages and then take them to our patients. So I have had the pleasure many times through the years of dropping those gifts off, and it's so exciting. I have so many of them who, when I see them, because I see them every single month, I'll go, "What did you bring me? What is my Cove Crafters gift?" And they have a little shelf and they're all lined up. It's like, yeah. And please open them. If you're one of our patients or families, we know the packaging is cute. That's one of my goals, is to make sure that it's still darling, regardless of what it is. And so those packages need to be open. We want you to use your Cove Crafter gift and enjoy it, of course.
Well, I just think it's an awesome thing to do. And you're helping folks who just feel a little bit homebound and can't get out and that kind of it's just a nice ray, beautiful ray of sunshine coming into their lives.
I think so. It's just, it blesses my heart every single time. And, and sometimes you'll go into a patient's home and they may not be feeling that well, or it's just been a hard day for them or their family. And you can just take that few minutes and just sit and hold their hand and talk to them. And it's like when you walk in the door, they just kind of, and by the time you leave, they're smiling and they're happy and they're just thankful that someone took that few minutes of time to love on them. And I think that's hugely important.
And then knowing that we had a group and we all got together and we were in one mind and one accord and we wanted to make these things special as well. That means a lot. I'm gonna have to tell you, the first time I went to Cove Crafters, you attacked me. No.
I did.
So we were friends anyway, and so it was so much fun. You said, and I kept saying, I don't have time. I'm busy. I'm running a business. Blah blah blah. I won't do it. I want. And then you said, well, you're just going to have to make time to come. Oh, I did.
And next thing you knew, you were vice president. So hey,
I'm like, but it's really not. Now, sometimes, and this happens with everybody, sometimes, especially during election year, man, that was hard for me to come to the classes. It was just they're very difficult. But what's helped me is, and you can do this, you can arrange your time. Like now I'm taping on Mondays and Tuesdays, which frees me up a lot to do other things. Although sometimes I still get caught, like last month, and I'm gonna tell you what, I missed it, but I just couldn't come. But sometimes that happens, and that's okay.
well, a lot of folks weren't able to come last month, but there was that what people had been calling the Sand Mountain flu going around. So people had tummy flus or upper respiratory infections, and it's like a lot of people canceled within 24 hours of the last week, and it still worked out fine. We still did 100 projects in an hour and 15 minutes.
It still worked. You know what? We got to go into a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. You guys hang in there, okay? We'll be right back. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my employees and I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. With everything going on right now, your rest is so important. That's why we're having the biggest MyPillow sale ever. Not only are my bed pillows as low as $19.98, but you can get the best body pillows ever. Regular $89.98, now only $29.98. Take your rest on the go with our Roll and Go Anywhere MyPillows for only $14.98. And we have our new couch and accent pillows. They aren't just for looks. They have MyPillow's patented adjustable fill that gives you that amazing MyPillow comfort. In this economy, you get the best gifts ever for the best prices ever. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code and you get deep discounts on body, couch, bolster pillows, and so much more, including my original bed pillows for as low as $19.98. Please order now while quantities last.
Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Back. Thank you so much for watching The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications. You can also find us on Abundant Television. That's syndicated worldwide. You can find us on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And we are also with a podcast now. We're excited about that. Net News Network. .net. That's how you can find us. netnewsnetwork.net. I have a very good friend with me right now. Her name is Loretta Rodger, and she is with Cove Crafters. But now you are also a crafter. And I'm going to tell you what, I am so jealous of your workshop. I don't know what to do.
Well, right now you could bring a broom and help clean it.
That's what you need to do in mine. Absolutely. It's been so much fun learning things with you.
Thank you.
And crafting. And I'm not afraid of glitter anymore, by the way.
Good. Glitter can be your friend or your enemy. It's according to how you... I try not to use a whole lot of glitter in the Cove Crafter projects just because we do have a lot of patients that are on oxygen. And most glitters nowadays are made from mylar. And, but it's fine powder and you just don't want any extra ickiness, I guess you could say, around when you have patients on oxygen, because it could potentially be flammable. There's just so many things that I try to just be careful about. And a tiny little bit mixed into like a glue, that's fine. It's not going to be a problem, but I try not to just have like loose glitter. But
I'm really bad at spilling things and knocking over little bottles.
Well, there is kind of a cure for that. And it's really simple. And people don't think about it because people don't really use old-fashioned coffee makers anymore. We all have K-Cups and Keurigs and all that good stuff. But go to the grocery store and buy you the little $1 pack of coffee filters. And anytime you're working with glitter, you just use your glitter over that coffee filter. And it not only captures any excess glitter so you can pour it back in, but if you were to knock it over, it's not going anywhere. It's not going to go all over your desk and airborne. It's just going to stay right there in the coffee filter.
I did learn that tip from you. And it's also easy to fold it and put it back into the little container it came in originally. So that helps out as well.
Right there, man. It's easy. But it's something that people just don't necessarily think about. So I try to, even in my craft room. And the other thing to really help yourself to kind of keep your surface a little cleaner is just puppy papers. They absorb water if you should have a spill, but they are fibrous. So also, same thing, if there's some little spill that happens, that fibers of that puppy paper and they're clean, it's not like they've had little puppies doing their stuff on them. You just use them, wipe up a mess if you need to wipe up a mess, and throw them in the garbage.
I love the way you save money on crafts. A lot of folks get into the craft business and it winds up, man, they're not making any money off of what they have to sell. And I'm talking outside of Cove Crafters. I'm talking about people who maybe they're in a Pinterest group, they sell stuff on eBay and all those kinds of things. But you've got to be able to turn it into a business And but that way you're not just draining all your finances on just having fun with a hobby, but you can have fun and make money at the same time.
Right now, speaking of hobby or business, I have on my YouTube channel, which is just my name, Loretta Rodger. Just look me up, or you can go to my blog, which is lorettarodger.com, and on the upper left hand side above the blog header is like the social media links. But if you click on my YouTube one, I do have a current series on craft fair bestsellers for 2023, where I take you through step by step items that you can make and sell at a craft fair. For example,
Oh yeah.
now I don't know if you recognize this or not.
Oh yeah, I do. That's a photo.
It's an 8x10 acrylic photo frame.
Uh-huh.
This one has a notebook. My magnets come off, so you'll have to excuse that. But it's got a notebook in here. Let's back that up a little bit. And then a little post-it pad over here. And both of which, and a pen that matches, but both of which can be refilled by the person who gets them. Really, really simple. And they sell like mad. They really do. And then the other one, I just made this video couple days ago, is this. You can make it from coasters or from like cereal boxes, or it's just two pieces that are 4x4 inches, cover them with scrapbook paper and put a sticky note pad in the middle. They also sell like completely crazy pans. But those are just a few ideas, and I do have other craft fair series that I've done through the years that you can click on the playlist on my channel and go and see those as well. But I've had some really good luck with selling them, and sometimes I'll have people just contact me after seeing the video and say, I really like to have one of those, but I don't live close enough. Can I buy one? It's like, well, yeah, and send them an invoice and get paid.
There you go. But I'm going to show you one of my favorites. Is this one right here? And
the little guy. Yeah.
I love it because I can throw it in my purse. And when I'm gardening and I come up with an idea, and this book is just full of, I'm thinking, like my daughter-in-law might like this sometimes. So this is from last year. And so I can see things in here where I did, just did a little test run on something like seeds or whatever. And this is my gardening ones. I have different ones for different things. And so you can see where I did plant like in mid-September turnips. You see what I did. And then when I planted the sweet potatoes and green onions and all those kinds of things. And then you can see where I had this chicken egg incubator. And this is what happened out of that. I can give you some things to do and also some things not
to do. Well, you're talking about that little notebook. We did make one of those on your show. I don't even remember how long ago it was now. But, any of those materials, you can also do stuff like this. It's just a simple Mother's Day card. And I use the same type of materials that were used in that book. So I didn't have to go out and buy anything extra. I already had it on hand. And even if you're a brand new crafter and you don't have a lot of supplies, I think you would be amazed at what you can make with a cereal box and a copy of the Sunday Funnies.
You can do all kinds of stuff. Like magazines, and I'm going to tell you, one of my favorite jewelry pieces came from a magazine, and it was a hardcover. It was something that looked kind of like, I got magazines and stuff all over. You got to come and see my library in here too. So now this is just a regular book right here, but it was a book that looked something like this, and I found a horse. I love horses, anything Western, any of that kind of stuff. I just adore. So I found this little horse head, really tiny. And I thought, I'm in love with that horse head. So what I did is I got my, not my acrylics, but I just made a necklace out of it. So I got the 2-part epoxy and put that together, and it gives it this 3D effect. And so I made a leather necklace that goes with it. And when I wear that, everybody's stopping me saying, Wow, I love that. Where did you get the horse? And I'll say, well, I made it. Found the picture out of a magazine.
Isn't it great? Well, and you're talking about leather, and a lot of the viewers also are like us, and they love a good thrift store find.
Mhm.
Well, you may see it like a children's jacket or something made of leather, and well, this is what you can do with it.
Oh, that's nice.
It's leather, and then okay, I'm going to take it a step further. A lot of us ladies, through the years, have collected pillowcases or even sheets or whatever that are embroidered, right?
Uh-huh.
Our runners. Got to be kind of careful what I show. But here you go.
Look at that.
I'm not sure if it's showing up really well, but this is just embroidered. And then this piece right here, down here, I just used some vinyl, printed it out, and put it on there. It's actually, it's actually a pocket. So I can put tags and other goodies in there. So yeah, simple. Just need some glue and some leather in this case, and that's it.
What I've thought about doing is putting a book, something like that, together of my grandmother's old recipes. And it's her handwriting, and so, some of her favorite dishes. And everybody, like you had any kind of family get together, it was always like the coconut cake and all those things. And she used this, she called it the 7-minute icing. It was made out of egg whites. And it was so good. It was like really good and fluffy. And I've got that recipe with her own handwriting. So if you have maybe your grandmother's old recipes and things like that, and you want to keep them, and you don't want anything to happen to, what would be the best way to preserve that? So it does, and it even has stains on it from where she may have dropped some, like vanilla flavoring on it or something.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, honestly, the best thing to do is just either, if you don't have a printer that's got a scanner, take them somewhere and have them scanned, and then you preserve them, stains and all, because that's going to pick them up. That's absolutely the best. The paper that they were probably written on is pretty delicate. So my other suggestion is, while you're handling them, wear some cotton gloves and keep them away from, don't fall into the temptation of sticking them into a plastic baggie. Don't. You're better off just taking a file folder and gently putting them in
a plastic baggie. What does that do to it?
Well, because plastic is acidic in nature, it's just going to cause that sweet little recipe to deteriorate even faster than it already is.
And it could sweat maybe, and
yeah, you're talking all kinds of badness. So it's just better to put it in something paper. You can put it in parchment paper or wax paper, and then put it into a file folder. Now, if you want to do that and put it into a plastic bag, it would probably be okay. But you really kind of want the whole thing to not be exposed, if you can help it, to something like a plastic. So it's just a little archival.
Is there some kind of coating you could put over it?
Well, there used to be a spray that you could buy to spray onto a surface to kind of neutralize any acid. They don't make it anymore. I don't think it ever really worked. So other than just doing some basic preservation, I call it common sense, then yeah. But most people
like the building
nowadays, well, a lot of people, that they do scrapbook, and so they have some idea of what it takes to preserve a memory a long time. But you also have people who, like me, who make a small little scrapbook out of real scraps of cereal boxes. They're not meant to be archival. They may last 5 years or 10 or 20, but they certainly aren't going to last 100. Mm-hmm. So, but that in those cases, that's where you really want to have those type of pictures either backed up on a thumb drive somewhere, scanned into, a computer that's going to last forever. Not that they ever last forever, but
they don't. Loretta, we're going to have to call it a day. It's way less than a half minute left in the segment. Thank you, Loretta, for being on the show with us. And that's Loretta Rodger, Rodger. If you want to look her up on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back in just a few minutes with another awesome segment with another awesome guest. Thank you for watching.